Okay, so with all these Jalen Hurts narratives, including the top 10 quarterback list made by executives, coaches, and scouts, a NFL defensive all pro gives Jalen Hurts the ultimate respect. Meanwhile, the Eagles' oldest player on the team looks to be in the best shape of his football career. So much to break down, including a Nakobe Dean update. He looks ahead of schedule, and Nick Sirianni calls BS on exactly what everybody's been saying. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and it's the Philly Told Podcast. If you rock with our Philadelphia Eagles, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So today marks exactly 1 week before the Philadelphia Eagles report to training camp July 22nd. And boy, oh boy, am I excited to see the Eagles getting back at action. Super Bowl teams are built not just during the season, they're built in late July and early August so that they are ready to go in September. And if you remember, last year didn't go so smoothly to start the season as we were 2-2 with an early bye week, which actually paved the way for the Eagles to get things right, not just defensively, but also offensively. And it was smooth sailing after. So don't jump to conclusions early on in the season. Speaking as the longest tenure Eagle with this season, if he plays like I think he does and plays one more year, like the extension Howie Roseman gave him says, he will be the longest tenured Eagle. I know we got to talk about 2025, not only for Lane Johnson, but also because the next season is always the most important season, and we have an opportunity to run it back. I honestly believe it. Moving on to the coaches, executive, scouts, top 10 list for each position. We will be going over all the Eagles that made it, and a lot of Eagles did make it. However, they're not fully done with it. They still got to do wide receiver and cornerback. So we'll do that either tomorrow or the next day when it's all out. However, the first one that was done and it created another Jalen Hurts topic was the top 10 quarterbacks voted by executive, coaches, and scouts. Jeremy Fowler kind of breaks it all down. Mahomes still won, but the grip is slipping slightly. 60% first place votes. Allen, Burrow, Jackson split other 40%. Daniel is 5. Yes, 5. Super Bowl winner, which was Jalen Hurts, ranks ninth. And hello, Mayfield. Don't know where Mayfield is. Probably number 10, but to rank Jalen Hurts ninth is crazy. His highest ranking was 6, according to the execs, coaches, and scouts. His lowest ranking was unranked. That means there were people who had him outside the top 10. Age 26, last year's ranking, he was an honorable mention. So at least this year, they got him inside the top 10 at 9, but it's still so disrespectful. The ESPN write up said this: Jalen Hurts' status is cemented. He's a Super Bowl winner who plays big in big moments. He's the most potent short yardage quarterback rusher in the NFL. His streak of 4 consecutive seasons with 10 or more rushing touchdowns is the league's longest ever for a passer. He's also one of the game's most accurate passers, ranking first in completion percentage over expected, plus 6.6, and he throws a beautiful deep ball. That touchdown pass to Devontae Smith in Super Bowl 59 was a Superdome-sized work of art. He had a better year running the ball, and the way he played down the stretch when healthy was impressive, said an AFC executive who voted Hurts in the top 5, better throwing the ball in general this year and cut out the turnovers. The ESPN article continued to say the question isn't whether Hurts belongs in the top 10. He undoubtedly does. It's whether he has the ability from the pocket to vault himself into the top 5 eventually. As Super Bowl pedigree would suggest, he could. More than a few voters see shades of Russell Wilson's career arc. Hurts has many traits that contribute to winning at a high level, but needs a steady running game around him and wouldn't necessarily thrive in a pass heavy system. Again, this is the ESPN write up from the execs, coaches, and scouts. As I said before, we will do all the other position groups that have Eagles, which there are a few, but I got to wait for wide receiver and corner to be done, probably tomorrow or the next day's video. As to Jalen Hurts, again, I got him inside the top 5. And to be honest, with this Eagles team, There's nobody I would want to be quarterback for the Eagles besides Jalen Hurts to run it back for a two-peat. The league keeps sleeping on him, and he's going to keep proving them wrong. However, when I say league, I mean people outside the league. The players respect and know who Jalen Hurts is. Dove Kleiman tweeted today, "No way. 49ers star linebacker Fred Warner is terrified of the Eagles superstar quarterback Jalen Hurts." I wouldn't say this quote means he's terrified, but this is what Fred Warner had to say. Jalen Hurts is the type of guy you want to play with or never face at all. Because once again, defensive players know that it's very hard to game plan for a guy who can throw with the best when asked to, is accurate, makes great decisions, and will run you over or juke you. Great defensive players do not like playing dual quarterbacks that can throw the ball. And Jalen Hurts is absolutely one of them, and he makes the biggest and best plays when the team needs him to. Once again, Fred Warner is a dog, and I'm going to repeat what he said. Jalen Hurts is the type of guy you want to play with or never at all. Big words from a big time player about Jalen Hurts. This is what head coach Nick Sirianni had to say about Jalen Hurts being carried. "I think it's bull bleep," Sirianni said in a recent session exclusively with Eagle beat reporters. "I mean, Hurts plays the most important position in all of sports, and it's the most ultimate team game there is. And what I admire about him is his selflessness of doing anything we need him to do to win, whether that's throw. I mean, obviously, anybody who plays quarterback is going to want to throw the ball 50 times a game, but he will do anything. If he has to throw it 50 times a game, he's ready to do that. If he has to hand it off 50 times a game, he's ready to do that." Head coach Nick Sirianni is right. Anytime Jalen Hurts was asked to throw the ball in 2024, he got it done. But the ultimate goal is winning. He understands that. He don't complain. He comes out in the fourth quarter. He audibles to run plays. Like I've been saying, some of Saquon's biggest runs were audibles from Jalen Hurts. He's been a lot better at the line of scrimmage, and all he cares about is winning. And that's why the Eagles will keep winning. Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco talked about the Jalen Hurts narrative and what Nick Sirianni said. Listen to what Ocho says.
Nick Sirianni went off on critics who say Jalen Hurts was carried to the Super Bowl by his team. Ocho, is the criticism of Jalen Hurts, is it warranted?
I like the quarterback that Jalen Hurts plays. I like the way he plays the game. The game of football is not complicated, Unc. It's really simple. I'm going to take what you give me. I'm not going to make any mistakes. I have Saquon Barkley. I'm going to hand it off to him. He's going to make things happen. And when it's time to play the ball, when it's time to throw the ball, and we have plays for A.J. Brown, we have plays for Devontae Smith, some games A.J. Brown's going to be mad. Why? Because they W, but Devontae Smith is going off. Then you will have some games where, hell, A.J. Brown going to go crazy, and Devontae Smith is not going to get the ball. That's the way the game is played. It's simple. At times we tend to complicate it because it doesn't look pretty and it's not aesthetically pleasing.
It doesn't look aesthetically pleasing all the time, but winning is the main thing. Ocho said the game of football is simple. He knows it and respects Jalen Hurts' game. Again, Eagle Nation, we're never going to get the naysayers to agree with Jalen Hurts' style. All we can do is support our guy, believe in him like we all do, and keep winning games, which keeps leading to Super Bowl appearances and winning. At the end of the day, the rings, the chips, they'll all fall in place. And with so much jewelry, it will be undeniable for NFL analysts or anybody to come at Jalen Hurts sideways. Lastly, with training camp a week away, it's good to see guys like Saquon Barkley out there on IG running around. He didn't post this, but one of his trainers did. Same with Nakobe Dean, who is looking like he is ahead of schedule with that knee. It was an ugly injury versus the Packers, and we're not going to force him back early, but all the reports that he is ahead of schedule look to be true. He's working out with the knee. I'm expecting him to build off the 2024 season. And when you look at Jahad Campbell, who was also nursing a shoulder injury, he's out there on IG. Again, not posting this, it's their trainers, but he's looking good, dipping his shoulder, moving around. I can't wait to see the combination of Jahad Campbell out there with Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond. They're all going to be flying around. And again, we don't got to rush these two linebackers back too quickly during training camp because I love what Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is bringing. but it's all falling into place defensively. And as we said, the offense is A-OK. We'll be talking shortly, like I said, top 10 of every position the Eagles in once all the lists come out. Plus, with training camp around the corner, we're going to break down some of our biggest watches, including a player that I'm going to give a huge hot take on. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be. But all that being said, I go by Philly Mike, just the Philly Talk podcast. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the videos. Once again, I really do love reading y'all comments. Until next time, you know what time it is. Muscle up for Philly Strong, and we out.